You can only control the things you can control. That's pretty much the only way that's the only way I look at
it. I was digging through the bat cave of Dina's content, and something really struck me this week, that I have one video that just has a much higher view count than everything else. Like, all the other kids are just different from this one. And it got me thinking, what is your most successful video? And I'm going to let you define what success means to you. And what do you think set it apart? Is it a technical thing? You know, what did you do differently? Will you do it again? Let's talk. Michelle.
Well, for me, my most successful video, the video that has the most views on my channel lifetime, is a video that I used to create animated overlays in Canva. And it was a tutorial. So far it has 4,724 views. It's gotten the most subscribers from that video, 75 subscribers from that video. And every single week, that is the most watched video on my channel. The next video, these are my top 3. My next one was how I created a DAC board with a Raspberry Pi. And for whatever reason, every single week, I get views on this video. I've gotten 18 subscribers from that video. And then the third one that rounds it out is a 3D effect Canva tutorial. So clearly Canva is a thing for me. And I've gotten 49 subscribers on that particular one. So it's one of those things that it was a tutorial, me teaching about something that I was working on. And I noticed that I took a good hard look at my analytics, and my epiphany was that Canva is a vehicle that I'm using to create new videos that are like these other ones, because I love creating stuff, and I don't mind doing a tutorial or an explainer video. That's sort of like my thing that I do every single week. And I kind of got away from that, but it's very eye-opening being able to actually look at actual data and say, okay, people are rocking with this. This is what they want to see. I talk about a whole lot of other things, but there are 3 things that I use all the time on my channel. Canva is number 1 because I design in Canva. And then I talk, Ecamm is what I use to stream with, and Trello is like my productivity to keep myself straight. But for the most part, Canva is number 1 on my channel. I'm not a Canva channel per se. However, I talk a lot about the stuff that I use, and so people dig it. And I have a lot of fun making tutorial videos and things like that, because it's something that I enjoy doing. I could do this for free, like all day, every day, and twice on Sundays.
Nice.
You just got elected to start doing it for free, didn't you? I mean, they're not paying you anymore.
Well, yeah, I didn't make a whole lot of money on the ones that I did make, but people like it. When they're looking for stuff, this is what they're looking for. So, whatevs.
Cool. All right, Rich.
My show is about merch and trends and swag and stuff like that. The most popular one I've had was a controversial one with Aubrey Plaza doing the wood milk thing. We did a show about that a couple weeks ago. And I'm always looking for that kind of thing, because I got a lot of subs from that. I don't know how interested they are in merch, but that's okay. The most popular short we have has 7,000 views on it, and it has nothing to do with merch. It was one of those where we were scrambling for an extra topic, and so Amber found that thing about T-Pain doing a song for Alka-Seltzer or something, and it's got a whole bunch. And I've learned that on shorts, and you were talking a minute ago about how shorts screw up your demo. If it doesn't get 1,000 views in the first hour, you're not going to get anything out of it. It's going to be weak. It's going to be 20 or 100. you're not. It's not. It's going to be it's going to be worthless. So I don't know why I'm even doing.
I found the same.
But every once in a while you get a hit. Every once in a while you hit one and it's boom. It's $2,000 or it's 2,000 or 1,500 or something. But most of the time it's not. And then on Instagram I did a thing when the worms were falling out of the trees in my backyard, and that got 20,000 views. They're silkworms. It's not like a thing that happens in Texas, but every 4 or 5 years they come out of the trees. So you can watch it if you want. But I don't know. It's just people freaked out about the worms. It was pretty funny. The little inchworms.
Will you be doing more inchworm content?
If they come out of the trees, anything that's weird or controversial like that, yeah. But I should have put that on my business channel, and I didn't. So I put it on my personal one, which is dumb. Because the business channel is where I want the personal channel is just whatever. Anyway, I don't really know anything else except, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just sitting here looking at my YouTube page, trying to think if there's anything glaring. I mean, I don't know a lot about this analytics stuff, so I don't really know how to glean a lot of stuff from it. I just know that we've been busy.
That's an interesting part of it too for me is in my gut, I can usually feel like, okay, this is a good video. Whether the numbers are good or not, this is a good video. I like it. I'm proud of it. So when I say successful, I guess there's that part of it too. Unless, I mean, obviously if it's a complete turd in analytics, then, you can like it as much as you want. But if your favorite child is ugly, it's no good.
But there's something to be said for that. You make it. I mean, you start with making it for yourself anyway, because that's the reason any of us are doing this, I guess. And if you're not happy with it, then then you've got to change it. But if you're happy with it, I mean, that's the best you can do, and just hope other people are as into it as you are. If they're not, there's nothing you can do about it. You can only control the things you can control. That's pretty much the only way that's the only way I look at it.
That's a good point.
I can't go out there and make them click that button.
Yeah, you can't click it for them. You're right. That's for sure. Alec, you've had some interesting insights in some of your top videos. Yeah,
so most of my content has been, I guess the largest majority, I should say, of it has been technically eCam stuff. So if you look at the video count, how many of them are related to that? But by far, my top performing videos are all Stream Deck related. Nearly all of them except one about a little Logitech remote presenter. But apart from that shows me kind of like where my main audience actually is, or like where I get the most views. The other thing, though, that is interesting, and actually the top one was all about why I think profiles are better than folders on Stream Deck, which was a realization I came to about 3 months in. I made a video about it, and it just gets consistent thing. It's usually my top performing video literally every month as well. It's not just
Alec, it's not just a couple of hundred more than the others. It's a lot more than the others, right?
It's around, so my total views at the moment on the whole channel are 600 and something thousand. 670,000, and this one video has got 41,000. So it's 8% or something of all views on all of the videos. What's interesting is the second one, because I always used to treat live streams as they were just a thing to sort of build community engagement and so on. But I always had this feeling that people don't really go back to watch live streams after the fact, or they don't have the longevity of a recorded video because I think people see that, it was streamed a year ago, 6 months ago, or something like that. And so therefore, this is what I feel as well. If I see something was a live stream, I kind of feel like I've missed out on it already if it's too old, like if it's something that was streamed 6 months ago. But my second highest video was a live stream I did about the Elgato Stream Deck again, and it was a complete setup tutorial, but done as a live stream. So the title is obviously, Beginner's Guide, Complete Setup Tutorial, but that's had 27,000 views. So that's by far my highest performing live stream, but is also the second highest performing video of any of them as well. So that kind of shifted my opinion that feeling guilty for not doing regular recorded videos, which I haven't really been doing this year. I've put out some recorded videos, but I've tended to be just doing my weekly live stream and not really doing so much of the recorded stuff. I do want to get into doing, 2 or 3 recorded videos a week as well, but it kind of it kind of made me feel like maybe it's not too bad actually that, you know, live streams are a big factor in it. Although I do think that the recorded stuff definitely does get more generally than a live stream. But that said, a live stream is arguably easier to do in terms of that it's a case of sitting down and I feel like a live stream is easier to do somehow at this point than a recorded video. I don't know why that is, but
it's because of the repetition. You do it all the time. It's like second nature to you. And it's funny you say that. The top 3 videos on my channel, they were all live streams, and I every single week, you know, my highest performing video was a live stream. You know, and you know, I've kind of shifted a little bit to more produced type stuff, but I don't know if that's the way I should go if I'm relying on these numbers. But then I know that there are ways to make the numbers tell you more stuff. I'm just learning a little bit more about analytics as we go through this journey together. And there's something to be said, you know, where people will actually go back and engage, even though it's past, it's not live anymore. There's a reason why it's the highest video on your channel. They're getting something out of it, and they'll keep going. But you know, new people are finding it. So is it just the impressions that you're getting from it? Is it new people or returning traffic? You know, you could break it down even further.
Yeah. I mean, so that particular live stream is number 2 in the list, like of all of them, but it is the only one in the top like 20. But I mean, my subscribers at the moment are 6,700. So you know, if I'm getting 27,000, then they're certainly not subscribers because it's significantly larger than that. So I feel like it is. I feel like it is subscribers who are watching my live streams as opposed to generally on the whole, because my number for my live streams is generally always lower than my number of subscribers. Whereas when I post a video, that's generally overall ends up being, you know, grows to be higher than the number of subscribers. So I guess people are finding that organically.
Alec, you pay attention to watch time too?
I do look at watch time, but that's. I mean, I look at it just as a general trend as to how it's changed over time. But obviously, it depends on the length of the video or the live stream. If I, you know, so it's. I look at it in specific videos as well, so I'll see how much of a specific video that they've watched. But yeah, the overall watch time is kind of a bit. It doesn't give it quite as much of a picture, really, because as I say, it just depends on the number of videos you've.
Well, I was just wondering if you've compared live versus recorded, if there's any kind of trend. Like, are people sitting down to watch a live stream, watching more of it or less of it, or just to get the information out of it they're looking for and ditching, or what?
That's an interest. I haven't done a full breakdown of that as to see like how it looks, you know, over. I mean, if I look at that particular one, so that beginner's guide one, that's a live stream, total watch time on that is 9,000 hours, 27 views. And then if I just go to the other one, that is actually, yeah, that's 41,000 views and 3,000 hours. So there's actually more watch time on that live stream than there was on my top video. But I guess that's because it's a beginner's guide tutorial. It's 20 minutes long, whereas the profiles one is the top video is only 5 minutes. So.
That's interesting.
I should actually also organize all of these by time. I've not done this, but to see like what is the optimum time out of my videos, which one, you know, it may be that, you know, a 5-minute video gets a lot more views than typically my videos tend to be, I guess, around 30 minutes on thereabouts. That seems to be the average of them. So yeah, maybe the shorter stuff is more popular. In fact, now that I'm saying that, every one of these top videos, apart from that live stream, the average view duration, I'm looking at rather than the actual video duration, but those top videos, the average view duration is under 10 minutes in all of them, except that live stream about the Stream Deck. So
quirky.
So I'm going to, while we're on Alec, I'm going to shoot this to you, but Michelle, Rich, go ahead and chime in if you've got any thoughts here as well. have you seen any seasonality to it, or does the views on those videos that you've been talking about go up when there's another Stream Deck announcement? Have you seen anything like that?
As such, no. Yeah, I mean that video is almost like a straight line. It's just once it reached a peak, so it went for about 120. About he says with giving an exact number, it was about 121.5 days, and then it just sort of took a turn upwards, and then it's just been a straight line since then. So that's the other thing, is like this comes back to this whole thing of like, making sure we post exactly at the same time. I've given up on that thing of we have to post at a specific time, because perhaps 10 people watched it when I posted it, but then it sat relatively dormant for the first 121 days. I got like 1,000 views on it, and then now we're 726 days later and it's up to 45. So it just did this like turn in the curve, but now it's a straight line. So on an individual video point of view, I don't necessarily notice a change seasonally, as it were, or in line with different things being announced. But there is a point where it just sort of, the algorithm picked it up or whatever, and it changed. In terms of overall views on my channel, I can't notice any season to that, because although I think some people seem to have this idea that I'm in some way consistent, if you look at my posting, it is not in any way consistent. And I've been, it's the sawtooth shape that I've got in my charts directly relates to the sawtooth actions that I have taken on my channel over the past 2 years. So there's a direct correlation to that, I guess.
Gotcha. Well, the video that got me thinking about all of this is one where I just show you how to remove and replace the wheel on a riding mower. And I was thinking about this the other day. When I went out to shoot that video, that was not what I was going to go do. I had 2 hours to mow the lawn before the sun went down. And when I got out there, the tire was flat. So it kind of hosed up the whole day, but I thought I better, make a video of doing this. And it's got over 10,000 views. It's getting, 100 views a day right now. But it sat from October until early April with just a little trickle. I think it had maybe 1,500 views. And then in April, when the grass started growing across the world,
sure, that makes perfect sense. Yeah,
went crazy. Yeah. So I expect that come October, it's probably going to dive down to almost 0 views. And I'm wondering if this is going to be, the video that taught me about evergreen content, because it's not going to get old. I mean, the technology on this wheel coming on and off, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it's been really interesting, but it's got it only got me 4 subscribers so far. So I have a very specific problem I'm trying to solve. I'm going in. She talked for 2 minutes. I know what I need to do. I'm out. And I'm okay with that.
That's what that kind of content does. Yeah. Like how to change your alternator or your fan belt or whatever. That's what you're going to get.
Right.
So,
right.
But there's nothing wrong with that. You still get the views. It's still fine.
No. And it's got, what is this? An 8% click-through rate, which isn't bad. 8.2. I'll take that. The next top one was the easy way to plant garlic and potato onions. And that one it's been out for 4 months, I think. That's gotten 43 subscribers, but the click-through rate is only 2.9. So that one, I think it hooked people to go, okay, I like how she explains things. And garlic and potato onions, any gardening content is going to be a longer game. So it does not surprise me that it has more subscribers than the video that's outpaced it by 40%. Let's see here. This one only has 6,300 views. So huge difference between my old live streams, for sure. I don't think I have any live stream that's gotten over 200 views at this point. And I haven't done one in, 6 months? But the gardening content is just, it's driving a lot of traffic. So I'm doubling down on that. And the thing that I'm going to have to remember is to find a way to make content that's relevant to the gardening people when we can't be outside gardening. I think that's going to be something that'll keep people coming back, and I'll stay relevant if I can give them value in the off season.
Have you looked at the impressions that you're getting through suggested videos? So like I'm one of the things on here when you talk about when you look at your content, you're looking at impressions, like where is this coming? Where are most of my impressions coming from? And I was looking at this and it says 51.1% are coming from recommended content. So if you click into that, then you could kind of go through and see what videos is recommended my videos. And of course, it's following the algorithm, what people watch. And, if they watch this, then YouTube recommends that. So sometimes I go and just kind of like go down a rabbit hole and start looking at those videos or related videos that recommend my video, and then go and look at their tags, even though I know tags is not a thing or whatever, but I'm looking at specific things that the algorithm would like, those keywords that those SEO keywords and things like that. So I tend to, make sure that I'm doing some research beforehand before I make my videos and stuff like that, to kind of see what's out there, what people are looking for, and like looking at my past videos, what channels they're looking at, so I can kind of like look and see what they're doing, and check out those keywords and see what comes up in suggested, so that I could really, really maximize the SEO on my videos. So I don't know if I'm being too too much analysis happening, but I really want to try to understand this so that I could, when I do put out a video, that it's, I'm doing the best for it. Sometimes it's a bomb, sometimes nothing happens, even though it's the same thing that I did last week, but for whatever reason, it's not resonating with people this week. I don't know. But, I think the biggest factor for me is time. And just leaving it alone, and eventually the people who need to find it. And then all of a sudden, where it's flatlined for a long time, it goes off the charts after a while. So I'm like, all right, I know what they like to watch. So I try to do more tutorial type videos, Canva tutorials, and just basically, learning how to do stuff that you would need to do in your business anyway, but in an entertaining kind of way. So, something's working. I'm throwing enough spaghetti against the wall, and some of it's starting to stick. So
that's an important point you mentioned about just like the amount of time. And I mentioned that one of mine that is the top performing one. It did kind of flatline for ages and then just seemingly took off. So it certainly does. It does happen.
Did you see that takeoff point? Did that spike, or not spike, but when it started going up, did it coincide at all with like when you were monetized or anything like that?
Let me think. It would have been. It was. I suppose it started gathering momentum before that, actually. So I made the video in 20, whatever it was, 21. what year are we in now?
Right.
And then it was around about November that it started picking up. So it already started on that upward trajectory before that, actually. But interesting you mentioned monetization, because if I search by revenue per video, I've got a slightly different order. That live stream is still the second highest revenue, but the absolute highest is actually one that was previously in the fourth by views. But it's the top one for revenue was all about the YouTube merch shelf. That's another one that's kind of slightly different to what the rest of my content,
right.
But it was all about how to set up that thing. And that's just the highest earning one, if you want to think of it in that term.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I sometimes want to just go down this rabbit hole of all the data, and the reality for me is I just got to get in front of the camera more and just keep putting out more content, because I think I'm at the point with, what is it, just now 320 or something like that subs. My stuff's being pushed more, and I can tell when when the algorithm is helping me, but I build for the audience, which is also named algorithm. So yeah. Well, this has been cool. I encourage everyone out there to look at your content and see what's working for you and your audience, because you're not going to want to keep doing this if you're not doing content that you want to be doing. So that's all I've got, folks.
Thanks for hopping into our Creators Pod. If you enjoyed it, we'd love if you would subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts, and tell a friend about it. Check out the video version on our YouTube channel, Creators Pod. The Creators Pod is produced by C22 Media, Dina Taylor, Keely Dunn, Michelle Lawrence, Rich Graham, Rob Voles, and me, Alec Johnson. Thanks for listening.
I'm here for the slut shaming. Let's go.